Folks, welcome back to Beer and Business. It is Thursday, July 18th. This is Jake.
And this is Darren.
Once again, Mr. Winnie is absent.
What did you guys...
Working, doing a quote-unquote job that I guess is important, that, family to take care of, whatever.
He knows he's supposed to be drinking beer, right?
Well, he's a little sad, honestly. Today on the show, we've got creating a hot marketing plan with Tammy Lanier, which I'm super, super stoked about. But before we ever get down to business, we always start with what, Mr. Flanagan?
Beer.
Yes, beer. So I have to say this before we start the show. So we were getting some of the details together for Tammy to be on the show. And I texted her yesterday and I asked, Tammy, what styles of beer do you like? And what did you immediately text back to me?
Oh. No hesitation there, sir.
I mean, it was like I hit send and then all popped up like she was reading my mind. I'm like, wow, okay. And you asked if we could do a flight.
I did.
So we're doing 3 different beers today. Yeah, no, not that kind of flight.
Not.
Multiple beers, not flapping wings. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So we're going to start with, I promise I won't do it again.
Ooh, I already like it.
Version 2.
Version 2. We had version 1 a few weeks ago, didn't we?
We did. And that was a session IPA, if you remember.
Yes.
This is not. This is an East meets West Coast style IPA, which I'm totally stoked about drinking. So let's get this started.
Oh, boy. Jake's born.
I also think it's funny,
Lord.
like any good promise, there's a version 2.
Well played.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, you actually poured that really well.
I know. I'm learning. I'm always doing these violent over pours and getting bitched at by everybody. So I need to stop.
I guess when
Thank you, sir.
pouring for others and not yourself, you've got to be.
Yeah.
Although you are liberal with your pours. I will say that.
Hey, listen, it's beer, not soda.
Well, the bourbon you're pretty liberal too when you pour that.
Well,
which is very kind of you.
There's more of that left, so whoever finishes first gets it. Okay. So let's
Where's this from?
Ooh, it's from Jailhouse Brewing, the official beer of the Beer and Business podcast. And I got to tell you, this smells really good. But Darren and I are going to say cheers and clink our glasses. But somebody is not going to partake in this, and I'm totally fascinated. You got to tell us why you don't do this.
Yeah, so I prepped you ahead of time in case you didn't want to make a big deal out of it. But since we are, it's just that whole tradition is rooted in some old stuff that goes back to Greek gods and pagan origins, and I just choose not to participate. So, yeah.
I never knew this.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
like the whole raising it in the air and the wish for good health and long life and all, it's an abbreviated prayer to ancient gods.
So we are participating in paganism.
Does that really surprise you, though?
Darn it,
I thought we were just
chaps.
drinking beer, but
Right. I had no idea.
Oops, I guess I should probably look into my traditions a little bit more.
Well,
it's actually in the alcohol and cultures. I don't know. It's like an encyclopedia kind of a thing. But,
you don't believe that having your picture taken will steal part of your soul, do you? Like that
I don't.
group in Africa.
Although that would explain why I don't have a soul.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't.
Look at the podcast.
Wow. Show went sideways real fast. Yeah, this is delicious. It's
oh, wow.
Little hazy.
Yeah.
Nice hop flavor on that. Oh, baby.
Kind of light.
It's very light for an IPA,
but it
especially.
Fills up as it goes along. I'm trying to think of what are some of your terms, Jake. We're not pillowy.
No, this is not a pillowy mouthfeel. This is you're picking up a little like estery, earthy flavor along. I'm just making this shit up now. Sorry. No, it's actually something. You're right. For an IPA, this is it's bitter on the front end, but it finishes smooth.
Yeah. There's something that hits you in the back of the tongue after you
right after you drink it, and then it just mellows out and a nice smooth flavor.
Typically, IPAs have an ingredient called Tettinger, and that's what hits you in the back of your throat.
Really? Man, she's more educated on this than we are. I've never even heard of this chemical.
Somebody studied.
I know.
My dad brews beer. So I'm not unfamiliar with this world.
I know I liked her.
Yes.
So we're drinking Jailhouse beer, the official beer of the Beer and Business podcast, and they've got a couple of events coming up. Now, we had covered a few weeks ago, Darren, tomorrow night is music bingo night here at Launch and Go, and also at Jailhouse. So if you're out towards the Hampton area, tomorrow night, 7 to 9 o'clock, music bingo with a lot of chances to win. And then this Saturday, we haven't said anything, but now it's official. There is a new beer release called Jacket. It's a pale ale.
Ooh.
Yes, I will be there. I'm pretty stoked about that. And there's live music Saturday night from 7 to 9 o'clock with them. We've talked about them before.
That is the name of the band.
I'm not going down that road again. We did
talk about them, and we joked about them too.
We did.
But
who are they?
Them. The band. Classic rock band. Yes, their name is them.
Yes.
They actually put on a great show. I've seen them before.
Yes, is somebody else. That's a different band.
No, I have seen them before.
How do you spell that?
THEM. I did that without spell check. Did you see that? That was awesome.
Good.
And then next Thursday, you guys got to check this out. Next Thursday, the 25th. Are you guys into wrestling at all?
No.
Oh yeah, nobody likes to admit it in public. I get it, Darren. But so WCW superstar Glacier and Johnny Swinger will be at Jailhouse. This is going to be pretty awesome. And they have comedians that are coming. Like they're putting on this whole production. This is next Thursday. They're probably going to be packed. This is going to be a cool event. It's $10 to get in. And then they also have a VIP experience that's $30. Gets you exclusive access.
To where?
To the wrestlers and to the comedians.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll link to it on our social. It's from 7:30 to 10:30 next Thursday, the 25th. So yeah, for all of you people that, I'm doing air quotes, don't like wrestling, that may want to come out and just see what it is, can come.
I'm just trying to think if they're actually going to wrestle. That's the...
No, but they'll probably do the like, ooh, and
that would be good.
A couple of chairs getting thrown around.
Because I saw something really weird about, they are doing that now.
I would like to see a folding chair broken. That'd be worth the price of admission.
Across
somebody's back.
I'm not volunteering.
No, between them. There's going to be two of them there. They can horse around like a couple of, yahoos. I don't need to participate. No, I can just watch and drink delicious Jailhouse frosty beverages.
The new Jacket pale ale.
Yes. I'm excited to try that. We might actually have that on the show next week too, just saying.
Ooh.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about wrestling. Yeah, I'm listening and I'm like, yeah, got nothing.
Well, yeah, most people don't.
No. Well, I won't be there. That's the thing. I won't be able to make it. So
yeah, I have a thing.
Actually do. We'll get to that in a moment.
Is your thing in air quotes too?
My thing is nothing.
With them.
My thing is nothing. So yeah, we are recording from the official headquarters of Beer and Business here in this sparkly new studio. So we're here at Launch and Go Workspace. Our podcast studio is available if people want to rent it and record their own podcast.
Yes.
That's really cool, Darren. So if somebody wants to come sit where the Beer and Business podcast is created, they can come in here, rent it by the hour. They can get support. If you want to make a podcast and you have no idea where to start, all that support can be there for you.
As you need it.
As you need it.
And you can sit in Mr. Winnie's chair.
Yes,
what does support
because
mean?
He's not sitting in it.
No. We actually, if we look out, the camera won't pan, but we actually have somebody sitting outside right now watching us, waiting because they want to start their podcast. So
yes,
they need to find out.
You could be next.
Dun, dun, dun.
So support means they get the cool gear here that comes with the studio, but then...
All included.
All right.
All included.
Yeah, you can come in, you can plug your computer in and record, or you can get full production support, post-production, hosting, so if you have any questions, Darren, how do they get a hold of you?
They can just go to launchgoworkspace.com. That's one way. The other would be...
That's the easiest way.
That's the easiest way.
Or you can hit us up on social. We'll, if you're following us on social, we'll link to it. If not, for God's sake, start.
Right.
We have like thousands of people listening to this podcast every day.
Oh, you told me how much it costs to subscribe.
Well, it's nothing.
What?
Free dollars, yes.
That's
a pretty good deal.
I have one of those.
You have a free dollar?
I do have a free
Does
dollar.
it look like this? So what's going on here at Launch and Go over the next couple of weeks, Darren?
Oh, wow. Let's just, we're just going to go over next week for Launch and Go. How about that? So, as you said, we've got music bingo this Friday to raise money for the Fayette Care Clinic. Monday evening, now this is something a little different that somebody has done once before, but it's going to happen again. It's making vision boards. And that's with Dana from 6:30 to 9. There is more information about it. We'll have it posted later today on the website now that I've got all the details. But if you are a person who likes to visualize your goals, which is a big factor, you can come and make a vision board that evening. And I know the group that did it last time, they had a pretty good time.
Yeah, I showed a house last week, and when we were walking through it, on the inside of one of the closets was one of those vision boards. I was like, oh, I bet they made that at Launch and Go. That was pretty cool.
They might have.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so we've got that. Then Tuesday is the Healthy Lifestyle Network. They have a lunch and learn that's happening from 11:30 to 1. I'll leave it at that because I have a feeling
we might hear more about that later.
Somebody might know what that's about.
Shocking.
And then Thursday, the 25th, why I won't be able to make it to the WCW wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I sound like the Kool-Aid man, not a wrestler.
Is Crane Chiropractic is doing their monthly learning session, and it's about recovering from sports injuries or recovering from nagging sports injuries. And that'll be at 6:30 that evening. And that about covers it for the week.
Like my elbow injury from doing 12-ounce curls. Yeah.
No
That's all I got,
comments.
man. I don't play sports anymore.
You could have went to like 16-ounce curls at least,
Yeah.
not 12.
Well,
the bigger
I
ones.
do 16-ounce curls every once in a while.
Those natty daddies.
God, don't even say the word. It's just instant gag reflex.
So that's it. That's all that's happening at Launch and Go.
Well, folks, we want to remind you, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And we are now securely hosted by Overwatch Technology, which means you don't have to worry about gremlins getting in your phone or your computer when you download it. Like, we're not one of those junky podcasts that, puts viruses and stuff on your phone.
Yuck.
No. We're secured by one of the best technology companies around. So subscribe. And hey, we want to ask a favor. So this is important. Number one, tell all your friends about us. So post some stuff on social. Tell them that they need to listen. If you're enjoying a podcast, then you need to share that. It's your duty, right? Darren's giving me a funny look.
I was just thinking of it.
Okay, so let me rephrase that.
You said
please tell
duty.
your friends. I did say duty. No, please tell your friends about us. And I also want to ask if you're whatever podcast platform you're on, because we're on so many. I don't even know how many there are, but give us a review. Right now, we've got a 5-star review on iTunes, and if you have an iPhone, even if you listen on like Spotify or some other app, if you have an iPhone, go to your Apple Podcast app. It's the purple icon, and give us a review in there because that's where probably 75% of all podcasts are listened to.
Mm-hmm.
So just pop in there. If you like Spotify, hop out, give us a review in Apple Podcasts, and then pop back in.
That'd be great.
Yes, because that actually helps us. That actually helps curate, more people finding us in search if we have more 5-star reviews.
Could we stretch that out a little bit, though? Could we ask if anybody has somebody that they would really like us to interview that's pertinent, like
That's a
to
great
beer and
question,
business?
Darren. And you know how they could get a hold of us?
Please.
They could email us at podcast@beer.business. Or
Again?
podcast@beer.business. Or you could just hit us up on social, or you can, flag us down on the side of the road, throw stuff at us, whatever. I mean, we're pretty easy to get a hold of.
That's it.
Yeah. And so we've also got a tech tip from our friends at Overwatch Technology. And before we give the tip, I just wanted to share some numbers from you. So, Mr. Darren, did you know that the average cost from damage or theft of IT assets and infrastructures increased? Get this, from $879,000 to over $1 million?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not moving in the right direction. And the average cost of disruption to normal operations increased from $955,000 to $1.2 million. So cyber criminals are becoming more sophisticated by the day, and they are targeting small businesses with ransomware, data breaches, phishing attacks. So this is not just a big business issue. This is a small business issue too. Mm-hmm. And there's things that you can do to protect yourself. And one of them, Mr. Darren, is what?
To call Overwatch Technology and have them take care of your cybersecurity needs.
Oh, yeah, that's the easy way.
That's
Just call them up.
Just call them up.
Go to overwatch.technology. It's that easy.
That's it.
But we also have a tip that we want to provide. So just to try to keep you safe, what's something that people or companies can do?
It's called the multi-factor authorization.
What in the holy Hades is that?
That is basically it's instead of just using your password. We talked about using, I think their tip was changing your password a couple weeks ago. Not just using a password to sign in, but having a second method of proving who you are. Like, hey, we're going to text you this code to your phone or email you with this to prove that this is you. And that's the second stage of signing on to a secure website.
So my bank has this, and I just remembered, the other day I was logging into my bank account, and what it does is it uses your IP address. So the computer that you normally use, it knows that that's you. But if you sign in from somewhere else, which I did not too long ago, it asked me, do I want to set up multi-factor authentication as the default? Which, if you don't know what that means, you're probably like, oh, what?
Just do it.
But yes, do it, because all that does is if you sign in from a strange computer, then it has to text you and you have to put the code in or email, whatever you want. But then there's the multi-factor basically means two stages. So you've got your login as stage one, and then stage two is you get a code through email or text. And then now it knows, okay, this is really Darren, so I'm going to let him in. Mm-hmm. So if you have that option, use it, because it's more safer.
Write that down on the crayon.
Is it most safest?
It's more safest. I'm using bad English on purpose.
You could use a third one. I mean, you could really layer it, but don't make it too complicated. That's good enough.
I mean, that right there probably eliminates, over 90% of breaches just by using, multi-factor authentication. God, say that 5 times fast.
Multi-factor
authentication.
Just say it once.
Multi-factor. I wanted to say identification. I was like, no, I don't think that's what he was saying.
MFA.
There's so many syllables to it. You're like, you get halfway through and you're like, where am I going with this? I forget.
MFA.
But as Darren said, or if you're worried about security at all in your business, just contact Overwatch. Make it easy. They do. How much was that thing where they go in and search the computer? What do we call that?
Assessment?
The assessment. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. That was going like this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it.
Keep going.
Yeah. So the assessment is how much?
It is free.
Oh, the same cost as listening to our Radical podcast, huh?
That's it.
Yeah. So
and I found out it is a 30-day free assessment.
So it just stays on there watching, kicking bad programs' asses all day.
That's it.
Keeping them out of there.
Keeping those out.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Well, with all that being said, let's switch gears and move on to our topic today, which is creating a hot marketing plan with Tammy Lanier. So Tammy owns a marketing company, which we're going to talk about, and she is a marketing expert. But I wanted to tee up why I think this discussion is so important, because I've actually wanted to do this show for a while. I'm going to give you guys a stat. So 54% of small businesses outsource graphic design and website design. Okay, so over half. But only 14% outsource their marketing.
What?
Yeah.
That's a real stat.
That's a real stat from the State of Small Business report that I look at every year. Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm going to take this a step further, because this is really why I wanted to have this show. Most small businesses really don't even understand what marketing is. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, or I'm not saying that to try to turn anybody off, but let's talk about how most people get into business. They're good at something. So if somebody is a really good, carpenter and they want to start a carpentry business, well, they don't know marketing because it's not their trade. That's not what they learned. Just like they don't know accounting. Just like, there's a lot of things that you'd outsource because it's not what you do. But marketing is this thing that most people don't understand. They think it's advertising, and it's not. It's much more than that. So do you guys know what the definition of marketing is?
I'll let you.
It's really complicated.
Go ahead.
So I looked it up. The American Marketing Association has this paragraph long definition of marketing, and I read it like 3 times, and I'm sitting there and my head started hurting. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But really, marketing is just the set of tactics or business of creating and selling products and services.
Well, that's simply put.
Simplified it at like 30,000 feet.
I describe it as casting a fishing net for your business. So you're creating awareness and attracting the people that you want to do business with. And sales is actually putting them on the hook and reeling them in.
Yeah, I like that. But it's funny because people think about marketing as just advertising, and it's much deeper than that. So this show, we're actually going to talk about, what marketing is to help people understand the different components, and then to figure out how they can crank up their marketing plan to something that's more strategic, and then all the tactics that they need to make it come to fruition. And Tammy's going to walk us through that.
I need paper.
Yeah.
Yes, I probably need to write all this down. This is
going to be a note-taking episode.
Okay.
But before we get into all that, Tammy, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks for asking us to do a flight, because I'm kind of stoked about
Somebody's thirsty.
You guys are over there chatting, and I'm just drinking.
Hold on. I know how to do something about that.
Oh, there's this radical pour. Here it goes.
Yeah. So, Tammy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am born and raised in Georgia, and both my parents and my parents' families are too. So I'm one of the few natives around.
This area or somewhere else?
So my mom is from the Atlanta area, and my dad is from Middle Georgia. And then we...
so Middle Georgia, like nowhere?
Yes, yes.
Perry?
Go down 75 like you're going to Savannah and all those little towns you've never heard of. They're from that area.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is...
Yeah. So like my grandparents actually moved from a place called Sandersville to a even further middle of nowhere place called Hazelhurst.
I know
Never heard
2 hours from anywhere you've ever heard of. You know, "O Brother, Where Art Thou?" It's a geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere. It's 2 hours from everywhere. 2 hours from 75, 2 hours from Savannah, anything you ever heard of. Anyway.
So you've heard of Hazelhurst?
I have.
I hadn't.
I have. Well, previous businesses would take you into those areas.
We probably don't need to talk about that on the show.
Well, if there's a convenience store that sold lottery tickets.
Lottery, that business. Okay, I was thinking something else. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Plus, they got good peanuts down in that area, too.
And yes, the Peanut Festival is not that far from there. So, Anyway, so I am an only child, and unlike many, I was given the speech my entire life that the world does not revolve around you. So I try to combat the stigma that comes with that. Yeah.
In what way? For or against?
Only child.
Right.
Of
course the world revolves around me. No?
No.
Just the opposite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Darren.
Okay. Well, I know it doesn't, not me, but...
And it's probably that fundamental thought that makes me good at what I do.
There you go.
It's not about me.
It's about the client.
Absolutely.
So your parents did good.
Yes.
And you've never thought about leaving Georgia?
I have, and I always thought that I would.
Really?
But life and circumstances have not made that happen yet. I kind of feel like it still might happen. I mean, obviously, life is ahead of me, but yeah, we'll see.
I love Georgia. It's funny. I'd never thought I would, because I always told myself, I'll never get relocated to Atlanta. No way I'd live there. And then I did. And then after I left that job, it's like, well, we can live anywhere in the country. Where do we want to live?
Buffalo.
In Georgia.
You don't want to go back to Buffalo?
No, sir. Two winners in Buffalo. That's all you need to not want to go back ever again.
I am not.
Sorry, my Buffalo friends.
I am not a snow girl.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm. Now, I did go to La Jolla, California. And while I feel like California is one step from falling into the ocean, I would love to live out there. But
Yeah, physically and metaphorically, right?
That's
I love to pick on California.
the tectonic plates and the shift and the, I think. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Very well done there, Mr. Darren. So,
and only half a beer in.
Ta-da!
dun-da-da. So you started a company. When did you start your company?
October of 2017.
Why did you start your company?
I started because I've been in marketing roles in this area for the last 10 years. I kind of fell into marketing. I have a background and a degree as a paralegal and was working for an attorney as a paralegal and ended up developing his marketing plan. And anyway, through several different positions and jobs and whatever, I was exposed to different marketing tactics and different roles and companies, and I had this revelation of what would this look like if I did it, and how would I do it different, which has kind of been a fundamental motto my entire life. Is I look at how something is structured, and I love structure, but I love to turn it on its head.
So you're like the Elon Musk of marketing?
Sure.
That kind of.
She's challenging the status quo,
That's it.
Yeah.
which I love.
Cool.
Yeah. So
So from paralegal to marketing expert. I love how these stories evolve.
Why play hopscotch the normal way? I'm going 1 to 8. Forget 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, and I wanted to become a paralegal because I grew up on Matlock and Perry Mason. And
It's not nearly as fun and sexy as it seems on TV, is it?
well, I made it pretty sexy, but
Jesus.
Wow. There we go.
Hold on.
marketing's much more fun.
I don't even know how to come back after that. Wow. I just
Open another.
drink more. Thank you.
I
very
mean,
much.
it was pretty funny. You called it, what's the name of this show?
Beer and business.
No, the episode.
Oh, how to create a hot marketing plan with Tammy
yeah.
Lanier.
Okay,
Hot.
thanks.
Marketing.
Man, she just you're welcome. Okay.
Just keep throwing her softballs.
I know, it's like-
Just,
Oh,
slow pitch today.
I know.
I'm only half a beer in too, but anyway.
Yes, well,
Well, maybe
you need to finish
some of
that so we
us
can move to the next part of the flight.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about starting the business. So aside from, being in marketing, what was it like for you starting a business from scratch?
Really scary, as I think most entrepreneurs feel, like this whole, oh my goodness, am I ready? And then I also, obviously, as the last 30 seconds, have a little bit of a hothead. So I, know marketing. So of course I'm going to just fly into this with no problem at all.
And that's exactly how it worked out, right?
No. Yeah, I actually have a mentor that's in Atlanta. She has a really large marketing agency. And I was talking with her just the other week, and she was like, as you figured out, marketing for yourself is the hardest. And I was like, yep, because we take care of everybody else first, right? So I tend to put my stuff on the back burner, or what I thought I had figured out, maybe I didn't. So, but it's been a really fun journey, and I'm really thankful because people knew me and knew what I was capable of in other positions. I, have had a lot of referrals and a lot of success right out of the gate. And so that's allowed me the wiggle room to figure out who I am and get some roots.
So you went from paralegal to, I'm assuming, probably working for another marketing company first.
Did you just say working? You made up a new word?
No, working. Why not? Diggity, diggity, boom.
So
there was something in between there. You just didn't go, I'm a paralegal, I can go into marketing.
yeah, so the attorney started pulling me pretty much immediately into his office to discuss marketing plans. And then we came up with some different things. And then I developed his marketing plan. Well, then I kind of was outgrowing that space. And because he was in elder law, I was really involved in the senior world and senior community and senior resources. And I was actually recruited by a hospice company to be their marketing director. Well, not director.
She's right. This does sound sexy.
Yeah.
Representative.
Elder law.
Yes, old people. Anyway.
You know, those with silver hair.
Estates and wills and insurance claims.
Medicaid and VA benefits, darling.
This sounds riveting.
Yeah. So anyway, hospice. And that was just a very competitive world, but it taught me a lot about how to make yourself desirable when people don't want to be bothered by you. I was having to develop relationships with physicians, and I was one of 100 reps, and we did exactly the same thing. So how do you stand out as different, and how do you make those people actually like talking to you and want to talk to you?
Take notes, Darren. She's talking about how to make yourself desirable when you're undesirable. We need to take notes.
Trying to. Yeah. She'll give us marketing stuff after the fact. So tips.
All right. So before we get into marketing, we need to go to the second beer.
Yeah, I need to chug.
So I got to tell you, we've actually had this one on the show before.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite beers of all time, Tammy. This is Breakout Stout.
Ooh, I love a good stout.
So do I. And this one is literally in my top 5 beers of all time. This, as far as stouts are concerned, it's simple. But it just hits exactly where it needs to hit. Yeah.
I like watching the bubbles settle. The foam, not even the foam. The head on it is just kind of easily.
It is so smooth.
Wow.
So what's it in the family of? Is it more coffee, chocolate?
Coffee and chocolate, as a stout should be.
Yo.
In my humble opinion. Although I do like a vanilla stout or a vanilla porter. But this one here, if this was a nitro beer, it would be so much better than Guinness.
Have you had Guinness at Guinness on tap?
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty hard to beat.
This is really good.
Okay.
Like I said, this is one of my top 5 breakout stout from Jailhouse. It's really good. This one ages well, too. So they release it in the fall. Mm-hmm. And right about now is when it really starts to open up and just enjoy the heck out of it. So here, we'll leave you to your own. But cheers, mister. We're doing paganism again.
To your health.
To Greek gods.
I like the Norse gods better than the Greeks.
Oh. Yes.
Pretty smooth.
It makes me very happy.
Oh my. Wow.
Yes.
Well, now I know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah. That would make an excellent breakfast stout. All right. So let's talk about marketing strategy.
Yep.
So when marketing at a high level, a lot of people haven't even heard of this. It's shocking to me how many people haven't heard of the 5 Ps of marketing.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
5 Ps.
5 Ps. Have you heard of the 5 Ps of marketing?
I've heard of the 5 Ps. I do not recall what they are right now.
Well, you have been drinking.
Something. And I'm reading.
Pilsner is not one of them.
So you have the 5 Ps, and I teach 4 principles.
Well, this is just academically what's taught, and I wanted to go through it because I think it's important.
Yeah.
So you've got product, price, promotion, place, and people. What are your 4?
Yeah. So my 4 are actually the reason I call them principles is because they are a measuring tool that you can apply to any platform or tool that you're using in your marketing plan. So you can use it at a high level and then all the way into what your Facebook post it looks like. So they're authenticity, consistency, going for gold, and value first.
Oh, I like that.
Going for gold.
Yeah.
Not silver, not bronze.
Exactly.
Just
So when you're showcasing your best, you're going after that big fish client all the time. You're going to attract some of the little ones just because you're showcasing what you do best. So it's not that you're not going to serve less than gold. But when you talk about what fuels you and what you're most passionate about and what you do best and the clients that have the best results with you, that's only going to be more attractive. And when we center a marketing plan around that, then those clients become clear to us, and the places that those clients are suddenly become clear to us. And then something that I really harp on is taking that information and shifting it and focusing on where are your gold referral sources, because people don't come to us singularly. Is that the right way to say that? Anyway, they're on a journey, right?
Sure.
And so they have people before us and then they have people after us. So where do we need to fill
Wait, they don't just talk to me?
Darn it.
They talk to other people?
No.
That's BS. But please continue.
Yeah. So figuring out who those people are too, and creating marketing plans and education that attracts those referral sources. It's so much easier to develop really great referral source relationships than it is to try and attract 500 clients. So we start there. And
so I think this is good because the 5 Ps of marketing kind of dissects what marketing is, and then you've got this really cool system about how you execute on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is going to work well, but I do want to start with what, because a lot of people don't even realize what functions are considered marketing. And the first one is product. And really a lot of people don't think about this, but I used to, in one of my roles, I had product development, and it was under the marketing organization.
Yeah. And there's another half to that, actually.
What's your other half?
Service. Because some people don't have a product. They have you could call a service a product.
Yeah.
So
it's a great point, because I'm including service as the product. It's
right.
Whatever the thing is you're selling. So yeah, products and services, but what that thing is.
Yeah.
Right. And price is very closely connected to this, but let's just use something, simple. Like we were talking earlier about carpentry. I don't know where that came from, but okay, so you're going to start a carpentry business.
Okay.
So what is your product? What is your service?
I have a hammer.
Right. Good luck with that.
it depends on why you got into carpentry. Did you get into carpentry because you like making toy boxes, or you like building houses?
Right. Are you a framer? Are you a custom cabinet maker?
What'd you call her?
Huh?
Did you ask her? Is she a framer?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said she wanted to get into carpentry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
From paralegal to marketing expert to carpenter, right?
Carpenter. Framer.
Oh, no, we were doing hypotheticals. I'm sorry.
Oh,
My dad was in construction too, so I've been on a job site since I was 6.
or toy boxes.
Yeah, or toy boxes, yeah. But it's an important point, because narrow down what is it that you're doing, or if you're making a product, if you're actually making a widget to sell.
Yeah.
You used to sell baked goods, which we were
did.
talking about before the show.
Indeed, because you had one of my cheese danishes.
Yes. You used to make very indulgent pastries and delicious confectionaries that I have a hard time saying no to.
There's a blueberry lemon muffin out there that I've...
Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul.
You've had several things of mine, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yummy. But getting back to the whole point here, product is a part of the marketing strategy, which a lot of people don't think about. A lot of people think of it as just the, action of advertising and, driving awareness, right?
So that ties directly into what I talk about with authenticity. So that has a very pop culture fluffy feel to it these days, but really that goes into your package and what you're offering and how you put a ribbon on it for people, and also your brand messaging. So people think of branding as a logo and a cute tagline, and I describe branding as the personality of doing business with you. So people, we've all heard it. People want to do business with others that they know, like, and trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we convey that and put that kind of feeling into a company of any description? And so when we work on that authenticity piece of thinking of product or package or whatever it is, and price, and what's the experience that the client's going to have with us,
Mm-hmm.
and why do we love providing that experience? You know, I have a client who is an auto body. Well, he doesn't do auto repair. He does repairs, not body work. Anyway, so what is different about coming to his shop versus the next person's shop?
Bingo.
So, or even people I help with this, work through this when they're under a larger umbrella franchise, or like real estate agents who are like with Keller Williams or whatever, and you know why they got into real estate is different than the next person. So how do you convey that? And who do you like to work with? What do you like to do? All of that ties directly into that authenticity piece that we work on the front end.
So when you're working with a client, do you have like a certain template that you try to cram everybody into the exact same template and go, okay, this is my strategy, and if you want to work with me, this is how it's going to happen?
So no and yes.
What?
So first, no, because I love abstract. And one of the things that I love about this job is I'm more excited when I walk away from a client than when I show up, because they tell me what they need from me and we walk through the whole process. And I know what I'm looking for and I know where I'm trying to lead them, but how we get there is individual, and that's a lot of fun to me.
So you pay attention to your client?
Oh,
and listen to them?
yeah. It's amazing. I could have been a therapist. So
From paralegal to marketing expert to carpenter
to therapist.
I've really
She
done
could
it
build
all.
her own couch.
This is definitely going to require a book. You have to write about this at some point in your life. But
Yes,
please
yes.
continue.
So, yeah. On the other end, people who aren't interested in doing the work, or people who aren't interested in getting unstuck, we don't work well together, because I can meet people where they're at and I can educate, but I've had one or two, like we all do, that just can't get out of their own way. And so while my concepts work with everybody and I'm willing to adapt and meet them where they're at, if clients aren't ready to do the work, or they're too attached to previous beliefs or too scared to move forward, you know, I can only work with what they give me.
So they don't want to have success or make money. Yeah, I'm scared of that.
Yeah, that's not
You'd be
bueno.
surprised. I have a couple people who they get so afraid of that going for gold piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even though we explain, walk through what that is, and people call it niching, and that is very buzzy, and people have a lot of different ways of helping people get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard these presentations about creating your avatar, and Sally drives a white van and has 3 kids who are in soccer. Like, how does that help you? Like,
And it's not about the client.
Look, everybody turn and wave.
Exactly. It's about you.
Right.
So if you are in touch with what got you into business and what makes you the most money and what you have the most fun with, then the who that serves becomes evident. And
Right.
It doesn't really matter if Sally has a white van or not. And sometimes those exercises can be helpful. I'm not discounting that. But if you're in the mindset of thinking of painting that picture first, you're never going to get there, because when you start with you, the path of how to get to them becomes clear. When you start with them, you have no idea how to get to them.
That's a good point. It's as you're sitting here saying this, and I want to give an example when it comes to product, because I think this will help, kind of visualize what this means. So Kelly, my wife, and I, we've got a real estate business.
You do?
And
Tell us more.
we buy and sell houses. That's
What?
our product, right? But we spend a lot of time thinking through our product and our brand beforehand. So we work as a team, and when you hire us, you get 2 realtors for the price of 1. And we've thought about, now, what does that mean to the client? So what that means is There's always somebody available, so we're faster than everybody else, so we're going to meet your needs quicker. We look at things from a different perspective. So when we go out and show you a house, one person's looking at how it's going to get staged and is it going to meet your lifestyle, and one of us, air quotes again, is crawling through the crawl space looking at the hot water heater and the footers and so
I've seen your wife do that. She did that.
she does really good at that, doesn't she?
Great job. She's actually out there looking. She's the one who's telling you, the hot water heater is this old, the air conditioner is this old, and Jake's over there going,
this would be a great spot to put the
You could put
couch.
a swing out here and everything.
No, she looks at that crawl space and says, there's snakes and spiders in there. You go. So it's all me.
But you
I
guys don't
it.
just buy and sell houses for yourselves. That you
right? No, we're realtors.
Clients. You're realtors.
But the whole point is we put a lot of work in the beginning into figuring out what our value proposition is, what differentiates us, and not from the perspective of what differentiates us, but what makes it different for the client.
Exactly.
And that's really important. And so people miss that a lot of times. Like that's a really important part of your marketing strategy.
So that is value first. When you are centering anything that you do from a marketing standpoint, from how am I showing up in value, which can sound a little abstract, but when you break it down like what you're talking about of what does that mean in the client experience or the customer service or, that there should be an element of I'm solving a problem, I'm connecting them to the next person that they're going to need, and that should permeate all of your marketing plan.
Yep. Agreed. So let's move to the next one. The next one is price.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I tried to do this without looking down at my notes, and then I realized that all the 5 Ps were right there.
Yeah, they're in the notes that I typed up for you, Darren.
Typed up and put right in front of me. I'm like,
oh my gosh. You know how many times this has happened with Mr. Winnie and I? We get through a show and he goes, oh crap, man, all that stuff was right here in the notes. It's like, do you even read the stuff that I put together?
I guess he's focused.
And you know what his answer was?
Drinking beer.
No.
Nah.
Because, that's right, he's a man.
Oh my God. Oh, geez, that hurt.
I not only reviewed it last night, I printed it for myself, and you printed me a copy.
I resemble that.
Ouch.
Yeah. For all my fellow mankind, I'm sorry for Tammy's hurtful words. We're all going to cry tonight.
Well,
not really. We're going to drink. Okay, price. So price is really less about the actual price as it is about where you're at in the price continuum. Are you value priced?
That's it.
Are you, kind of a volume price? Are you premium? And that's important because that's actually going to then set up like what your strategy is long term in terms of, who you're going after, who you're targeting, where you target them.
Sure.
And again, that's something that a lot of small businesses don't think about. They know that they're like, they'll know my product is not the cheapest, or even maybe my product is, the cheapest, but they don't then take it that one next step further, which is, so what? Right. And that's really critical.
Yeah. So one of the things that I talk about with price is from a sales perspective, a lot of my clients end up being service-based. And so we're trained and we are inundated all the time with sales and discounts. And that works lovely for products. And what happens when an entrepreneur who's service-based starts running discounts is they undercut their value and they undercut their credibility because the pricing that has been put out there is based on the value of what this time and service with you is going to be, right? And so when you go, all of a sudden, what was worth X is now worth Y, the client doesn't know which end they're getting ripped off from. And so when my service-based clients talk about wanting to do some sort of promotion, we go back to that fourth principle of value first. What can we do that's going to add value to the experience, maybe add to, but we're not undercutting that price point, because we've already done so much work to build the credibility and the value into what that price is. We don't want to have to go back and reestablish.
Right.
Another thing I like to do is, depending on the business model, have at least 3 price points. And I recommend never pitching more than 2. So when you listen to your client, you can, or the prospect that's in front of you, they're going to be telling you what their needs are, right? And you know what you do, and you know what you offer, and which package they're going to benefit most from. So when you have, people can't make a decision with too many choices in front of them, right? And so when you have listened to them and go, based on what you've told me your needs are, based on this problem, I think working through X, Y, and Z in this package is going to be best for you. There is this other option. You let me know which fits you better. And so by hitting it at 3 different price points and at different service levels, it really helps solve your problem of closing more clients and their problem of, wanting to do business with you easily.
That's why we're drinking 3 beers today, 3 price points.
Well, we actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago in our sales process.
We did. I've been letting it go. I wanted the listeners, the subscribers to go, I remember that, and put it in comments.
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
The good ones will go back.
Yeah, they will.
Yep.
All of our fans, like you, right, Tammy?
Absolutely.
Right answer. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Sorry, folks. Occasionally we're in the office. We're sitting here in the podcast studio. We got big glass windows. People are walking by.
Yeah, they can see it on the video.
It's like when you see me wave, there's somebody out there that I'm waving to. They're like, "Hey, you're out there."
He just thinks he's popular. Don't worry about him.
It's funny. We actually
just friendly.
We were sitting down with a client a couple of days ago, and we're getting ready to list some land for him. And we were kind of going through. He's got what I think is going to take a creative marketing strategy to get this thing sold.
Yeah.
And very successful guy, very wealthy. And we're sitting there talking through everything. And, it came down to, he asked a question. He said, "So what's your commission rate?" And I told him. And he's like, "Well, I've talked to others that are cheaper." And I just looked at him. I looked him square in the eyes and I said, all the things that we just went through that we're going to do. And I said, "You want to hire the best to do this, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "I'm going to earn every penny of it." And he said, "Okay."
Then you said,
that was it. Done. Not another word.
Yep.
And I know that I'm not the cheapest. I'm not the most expensive, but I'm not the cheapest. But I do honestly in my heart believe that I'm giving the best value, because I'm not charging rates that are through the roof, but I'm also not bargain basement, but I will earn it every time.
And there's a difference between, not to go off the subject, but when you're talking about real estate, residential real estate is one thing. There's a set commission structure, so you really don't get to dictate your price. But when you go into the rest of it, like you're talking about a land deal and other deals like that. But I will tell you this, you guys are bar none. I mean, other people I've come across that we know each other, or we've talked to other people, they're like, "Oh, Jake and Kelly." And, they apologize for me knowing you, but then they're just like, "Kelly's dynamite."
But I would expect nothing less.
What they've said is, you guys have got it. You guys are out there. You're marketing correctly. For somebody newer into this business this year, you're leaps and bounds ahead of any other real estate agent that lots of them that they've dealt with for a long period of time.
I appreciate that, but we've priced ourselves accordingly.
Pay me that $20 later for that. Okay?
That sounds like I owe you more than 20, but we'll have to take that up after the show.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. So price, and then comes promotion. So promotion's a third P, and
just get that big floppy thing and you put it outside your business and it flops up. That's all you do, right? For promotion?
That's a form of promotion.
So
no.
Similar to what you were talking about earlier, people think of marketing as the tools. that they know that they need. They know they need a website.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know that they need some sort of social media. They have no idea what to do with those things.
I just got to have it.
I just got to have it.
Need it.
And I'm willing to pay, I've seen people pay stupid amounts of money for the simplest of tools. Same with business cards, or I need a flyer, or whatever it is. And really, what I do is help them create a blueprint on how to use all of those tools and how all of those tools need to be working together. Because if you don't know what's going on in each of them, or how they each work, or, you're running an ad on Facebook and your website doesn't match, you're not going to see the same effectiveness. So figuring out what promotion for what things and which tools to use and plugging those gaps is really important.
Promotion's a lot of things. It's advertising, it's sales. Like if you're going to run a quote unquote sale and discount prices for a weekend, it's, the floppy guy out in the parking lot. I mean, it's really anything to draw attention and draw call to action. I always think about promotion as call to action. Whatever you're doing to call somebody to say, "Ooh, I need to consider."
I mean, to me, promotion is the attraction. Call to action is that next step.
The call to action is in the tactics. But I'm talking very broad umbrella. When you're looking at the 5 Ps of marketing, promotion is anything that is, raising awareness, actively raising awareness, actively. And some of those things will be tactical in nature, which are those call to action things. Yeah. But it's important that we're delineating these things as different functions of marketing, because now people are going to start to,
this is a lot.
It is, but marketing is a huge function in any business.
Who would take this on by themselves?
Not me.
I got other things to do with my time.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Like, people know of the tools, but they don't understand the concept because they really love being a carpenter, right?
Right.
And so they would much rather, even if they understand that they need a few tools, work on the carpentry side than the actual marketing side, because it is its own beast.
It is a beast. Okay, so we've done product, price, promotion. The next one is place. And this one's a little deceiving. This is actually where your product is distributed or how it's distributed. So let's just say that you make baked goods.
She does.
She does make baked goods, really good ones.
She distributes them here.
She just distributed about 2,000 calories to me right before the show. But if you were making pastries and you had a pastry shop and that's the only place you sold it, that is, your place. That's where you're distributing. But you could also have one where you have a commercial kitchen and you do it through retailers, or, you could sell direct door to door. But it's however people connect. When it's that connective tissue between, okay, now I know I want it, how do I get it? That's the place part. That's the distribution. And it's something that a lot of companies don't think about, because we've been talking about carpenters, right? So what's a carpenter's place of distribution? Well, they come out and they do an estimate. Let's just say that they're doing home services, right? So they come out and they do an estimate. Well, what if they wanted to employ a company to go out and sell for them? Or, have pay a lead generation service. So there's things that you can do tactically to expand your distribution, to expand that place in which you can buy those products.
Yeah. So I would also challenge that place is where you are choosing to show up within the community. So especially for service-based businesses, this falls under the large and daunting category of networking. Oh. What rooms am I going to show up in, and why the heck am I there? 90% of the problem with networking events is that nobody knows why the flippin' heck they're there.
Ooh. Boy, we avoided that big tree, that F tree in the middle of the road.
See, this is the thing about beer and business networking events. Everybody knows why they're there.
Yeah.
Beer.
That
the
is
business
true.
is secondary.
That's it.
And to be
so it takes all the pressure off.
With two handsome gentlemen
and wrestling.
like yourself.
No wrestling.
Yes.
That was a close one. Woo.
Yeah. Anyway,
We
people
just
don't know why they're there. They want to talk about themselves. Everybody's annoyed with the people talking about themselves. And then they leave and they go, oh, did I even get anything out of that? I passed out 50 business cards, but, the phone didn't ring.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to just pass out a whole bunch of business cards and who cares about the person sitting across from you?
Yeah.
No?
So this is why I build my own networking groups, because I despise them.
You do what?
I build my own networking groups.
And what's it called?
So I started a network with a friend of mine because I particularly enjoy working with health and wellness professionals, even though that's not who I solely work with. But and so we started this group called the Healthy Lifestyle Network.
As we're drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's shoving 2,000 calorie, pastries down my throat. So you're actually trying to turn me into a client, right?
I never said that I was healthy. I just said that I started the network.
It's like, well, now that Jake is on the verge of a heart attack, hey, come over to my lifestyle network. Like, geez, you're getting me again. This is brilliant marketing, by the way.
Eat some butter.
She's she's got one product creating need for another product.
That is exactly what I'm doing. Thank you for noticing.
I am actually genuinely surprised and quite impressed. Bravo.
Thank you.
Golf clap.
Anyway.
Yes.
So that figuring out where you need to be networking wise and why you need to be there, there's a lot of reasons to show up in a lot of different rooms. But figuring out whether you're in a room that's full of gold referral sources or gold clients, or these are other like-minded professionals who are in the same field that I am, and I'm going to sharpen my skills so that I can be of better service. Really figuring out what rooms you're in and why, then helps you to communicate better in those rooms.
Do you help them, your clients, with that?
Absolutely. I have a client currently who's going through what I call a Build a Better Network workshop. And so it is all about figuring out what their product or package is first, because that determines everything. And then what rooms that she needs to be in based on that, and how she shows up in those rooms.
I know a little bit about that.
Just a little.
Just a little. So, and we're going to just put the people on the side for a second. Place, because the Build a Better Business Network, which one is it right now that you're doing?
Yeah, all of my things are called the same. Build a Better something.
Build a Better something.
Build a Better Network is this class.
Isn't that your online class that you're offering?
So she signed up for it, and it started today, actually. And I'll probably be offering it again in the fall.
How many weeks is it?
6.
Do you have to show up at a location?
No, it's an online course.
Online course
That's
for
how
6
the
weeks.
internet works, Darren.
Internet. So I can get rid of my soup cans and...
I wouldn't do that, just in case the apocalypse comes. You're going to need a way to keep in touch.
Maybe Mr. Winnie can communicate.
Yeah. He'll be making telephones every day as he empties beer cans. Hey, made another one.
So,
Sorry,
but
Mr. Winnie.
I know you have that. And then you also, you have the Healthy Lifestyle Network, and then you have another networking event that you've held here at Launch and Go.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it's called Crafting Better Business, right?
Yes, sir.
And the reason Tammy created Crafting Better Business was because of all the quote unquote boring network events that you go to with the business card ninjas that are out there. And I'm stealing that from Scott. If you're listening, that's your quote. And
He
I'm
is
not
listening.
stealing it.
You
So
better be listening, Scott.
anyway.
Sorry.
But you created Crafting Better Business to make it a more fun and active way to network. And I will tell you whatever they got going on this side on the other side over there, when they're doing that once a month, Crafting Better Business, they're having a blast. They're having so much fun, but they're also learning. And they are building their network. And I'll tell you, the bonding that goes on over there is just amazing.
It's funny that you say, first of all, I'm glad that you're saying that, because there are some that prescribe to the theory that there's no bad networking events.
Oh, they are wrong.
Oh, I know they're wrong, because your time is precious. And not only do I not go to every networking event, but I'm also very selective about which events I go to. And I know why I'm going to them. So there are some that I go to where I know going in that I will get zero business out of. Like, for example, I'll do some stuff with the board of realtors. And the reason why I go to those is because I want to build a relationship with other real estate agents, because at some point I'm probably going to end up negotiating a deal with them. And so I want them to respect me and know that if I'm coming to them with something, that they can believe in it, that they know that I'm not full of crap. And if I say my client can do X, Y, and Z, they're like, yeah, this guy's not an idiot, or he's not trying to pull a fast one. He's somebody that I can trust. And it establishes that relationship. And it's already paid off in a couple deals where, we've gone in and we've gotten something negotiated really quick. And essentially we've been able to do stuff without even putting it on paper. It's like we agreed to it in kind and then put it in a contract later. Those sorts of deals. So I know why I'm going, and I can't go to all of them. And I've told this story on this podcast before. Actually, the reason why we started doing beer and business networking events, because when this whole concept started, it was just going to be a podcast. But we decided to do the networking events because I went to a networking event at a funeral home.
Silence.
It was so quiet. It was so awkward. And the craziest thing is there was somebody in one of the caskets.
Why?
Because they had a showing the next morning. So it's like, I was like looking around, and I walked up to him, and the guy that was working, don't open that one. I'm like, what? There's somebody in there.
OMG.
Oh. Yeah, that was like, and it was a chamber event.
Well, I figured. I mean, that's the only way that could have happened. I mean, you weren't in the senior world like me.
No,
I did show up to things at funeral homes.
Yeah, so it was, but that's why we did it, because it's like, networking events should be fun, and it should, kind of take the pressure off the whole business card exchange, and it should be about relationships.
Absolutely. And the relationships don't happen in that room. The relationships happen from having actual conversations, because you know who you are and who you're looking for. And then, hey, let's go grab a bite outside of that networking event. So
that's right, and that's actually part of the whole fundamental reason why we do it the way that we do it. Because at a typical networking event, you walk up to somebody, they're professionally dressed, and you're like, I have no idea what this person would expect from me, so you don't put on your authentic self. You just don't. You're like, I'll put on a little bit of a show. But if you're at a brewery and you're having a beer and somebody else is having a beer, it's like, hey, at least we both like craft beer. So I'll just be who I am, whatever.
Well, it's a good conversation starter.
It is.
And that's hey, what are you drinking?
But it just takes off the pressure of trying to act like somebody that you're really not. Like, hey, we're just a couple dudes, or a dude and a chick just hanging out in a brewery having a delicious beer, and what's up?
Only at the right brewery.
Right. It can't be one of those crappy breweries. It's got to be a good one like Jailhouse.
Somebody. Do you need a little more, by the way, or are you waiting?
I'm just waiting on you to notice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We still have a third beer, right?
We do have a third beer, but you got to finish that first.
Okay.
Killed that one.
Yes.
Wow.
If you had poured it correctly, I could have chugged it. But
really,
sorry about
that. You don't.
There's Jake's overpour.
Stout, though. No. I'll tell you what. Now I know why this is one of your top 5.
It's that
this
good.
Breakout stout is.
It's so smooth.
It is. Like, this is how God intended stouts.
Yes.
I believe God loves beer. I mean, a gift like this has to come from God.
Absolutely.
So, if God was like, hey, make me a stout, somebody'd bring him one of these.
There you go.
Glenn?
Breakout.
Glenn?
Breakout. Take a break.
Glenn's tap room is now closer.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer to heaven. Yeah, he's on the second floor now. That's hilarious.
I can hear him right now. No.
Glenn, my humor sometimes makes Glenn laugh, sometimes makes him roll his eyes. But this is actually one of his original recipes, going back to when he started the brewery, and he's not changed it since.
Lovely.
Don't. Yeah, please.
Yeah, don't fix what's not broken.
Absolutely. All right, so we've gone product, price, promotion, place, and the last one's people. And people just really, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's who is going to get this done for you. Are you a monopreneur? Are you a single person?
I only need one client. What do I need anybody else for?
Do you have a team? And it's also people's also clients. Like, who are you serving, and can they help you advance your business? Can they give you referrals? So it's just essentially the people that are involved in growing your business. It's probably the easiest of the 5 Ps to
use the R word, though.
Relationships.
Well, that's the other R word. Referral.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen without a relationship.
That's true.
You have to have the relationship.
Remember,
to get
women
the
are always right.
R&R.
Always. Especially when we're drinking.
Or not.
I was going to say, especially when we're breathing, but whatever. So moving on. Now she's giving me the look.
Hey, you're the one who's married.
Yes. Happily married for a very long time. I married up, by the way. My wife is fantastic.
She's super hot, too. Good job.
I know she is. I don't know. I mean, she wears glasses. So, I mean, maybe she's got the wrong prescription.
What's that mean? Oh, because someday she's going to get the right prescription. Oh,
Yeah.
look.
Oh, my Lord.
Jake,
Dude,
I
she sent me that.
didn't realize I had cataracts. And now I see you. I have to, the kids and I are moving along.
I was really troubled. Have you guys seen everybody doing this face app thing?
Oh,
yes.
no, I'm not doing that.
Did
I am
you
not doing
hear
that.
the latest, though?
No.
Russia.
Yeah. It's like some sort of scheme to get like people's information and
All your
such.
biometrics, dude, are right there. Everyone's doing like this biometrics thing. It's like you just gave it all up.
I
There
don't
you
do
go.
that ancestry DNA and all of that crap too. Like that's a joke.
So are the Russians stealing an election again? Is that what's going on here? Whatever.
Well,
Anyways.
we're fine because
You're already
she's
old.
actually not the governor anymore of Alaska, but I'm sure she's got all the people up there watching over,
Just looking across the water.
making sure we're safe,
Yeah.
so we don't get invaded across that Bering Strait.
Oh, you
going
did
to
pretty
hell
good,
in
Kaylin.
a basket now.
The whole reason why we brought it up is Kelly sent me, she did one of those on my picture and texted it to me yesterday.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh my God. And I immediately realized what she did and like, that's what you're going to be married to in about 20 years. I hope you're cool with that because yikes.
Her or you?
Me.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I look like an old man. But I guess I'm going to be an old man soon.
It happens.
Yes, it does.
It's all in your attitude.
Well, you're only as old as you feel, which right now is about 65, 70. My back hurts and I'm whatever.
Go visit Colorado like I did. You'll feel younger.
The brownies.
I didn't say anything.
All right, so Tammy, we've established what marketing is. We've gone through the 5 Ps.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how MarketMe can help. Right.
Sure.
So, we've kind of established that marketing is broader than probably most people realize it is. So if somebody says, all right, I don't really know what I'm doing, I need help, how would MarketMe come in and help that business owner?
Sure. So I come in and like I mentioned before, I kind of help create the blueprints for them. They usually have some of the pieces in place. I have clients that are in varying ages in their business. So I've helped everyone from, several years established to just getting started before they've opened their doors. And we take all the tools that they know they need and create a blueprint, which I call a master plan, which is what they need to be doing across the board, across platforms, so that they can stay on track.
But you actually have, so you've got an established approach, a 4-step approach, right? So step 1 of your process is what? Now, wait a minute. We're all dry here, so it's time for beer number 3 of your flight.
You know what?
No, don't let me, please. Stop.
Right now, I know when Mr. Winnie listens to this, what's the phrase? I'm going to say it wrong, but right now he's probably so jelly.
He is jelly.
Is that the right word?
Can I just have the
did I
whole
use it
one?
right,
We all
kids?
split that one?
Yes, you can.
Go for it.
For the ladies. So this is
I was silly enough to think when I suggested flight, which obviously I have no problem with how you did it, but that, we would have one of each that we split between the 3 of us. But no, I'm loving it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So tell us about this one.
So we actually had this last week with Harlan. This is a
Federale.
Mexican style cerveza. So I joked last week that it's kind of like like a Corona, but it tastes good.
A lot. A lot better.
No fruit required.
Right, you don't have to put a lime in it to cut the flavor because the flavor is delicious.
Gotta do it again. It is.
And it's actually, believe it or not, this one's crafted to remove gluten.
Okay.
So my wife Kelly, she's got celiac disease. She can't have gluten at all.
Okay.
And it's so nice because every time we go to Jailhouse, she can have beer.
Wow.
And normally at breweries, she can't drink anything unless they do cider, which most breweries don't.
Oh.
So this is really nice. He doesn't market it. So if you look on the can, it doesn't say that it's crafted to remove gluten, but he does.
So it's probably not completely gluten-free because it's still wheat-based, right?
There's two ways to do gluten-free beer.
Okay.
One of them is completely gluten-free, where they use like sorghum or something else to actually create the beer. And then the other one is crafted to remove. So they actually use something that attaches to the proteins in the gluten, and then it gets filtered out. And it cuts it down into pieces that are so small that the body can't process it. So have you ever heard of Omission?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look, Omission, says gluten-free beer, but it's crafted to remove. So it's the same thing as this. They actually use a product.
So it's better.
It tastes better.
Yes.
The sorghum beers, I don't like.
Ugh.
They're no bueno in my opinion. I've tried several. Didn't like any of them.
It's because you don't get the full body.
Right.
Because you've taken the wheat out of it. Or, well, the weight that it provides.
Yeah. So, at any rate, I mean, he doesn't market it, but if you're a celiac and you can't have gluten, this beer is for you, and it is.
He should.
I mean, what do you think?
It's really good.
It is good.
He should.
It's very
That is...
refreshing for the summertime.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect for next to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
Okay, so now going back to your 4-step process, now that we're
Yes.
hydrated again,
Well,
because that's important for the
that
show.
is one easy
That is
drinking
one
beer.
easy drinking beer.
Sorry. Gotta
Did
get
you
that
see?
in again.
Look
Juan.
underneath Mexican cerveza.
One easy drinking beer.
That's marketing.
Juan. Juan. Okay, so first step is consult.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds invasive. That sounds complicated. Or is it?
Is anything
Invasive
complicated?
procedure.
Evasive procedure.
Is anything complicated 3
Can I have
beers
one of
in?
those
I don't
that-
think so. No, so that is exactly what I was talking about before, where I just sit and listen. And sometimes I talk to people and they're not a good fit, or I'm not a good fit for them, or they're not ready for me, and that's totally okay. Nobody has ever walked away from me without some idea that I've given them, because that's just how my brain works. But if it is a good fit, like, I don't consider myself to be a sales expert, because I don't like what that feels like. Not that sales
Sure.
is bad, but it just naturally transitions and people naturally move forward with me if it's a good fit. And I tell them what I offer that suits their needs based on what they've talked to me about, and then we go from there.
But if somebody were to consult with you, they don't have to have signed an agreement. This is
Oh, no.
This is figuring out if there's
Absolutely.
a reason why
So,
on both sides.
I meet with people all the time, and regardless of if I'm a good fit for them, I want to know them and hear what they do and who they serve. And I love connecting people, so I really enjoy hearing people's vision and figuring out who I can connect them with that can help further that vision, regardless of if they move forward with me or not.
So you sit down, you have a consult with somebody.
Were you going to say confession? That was coming.
No,
out.
but that's
comes later,
hilarious.
darling.
Forgive me, Lord, my business is in shambles. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we need to set up a confessional booth for you here.
There you go.
Oh, I
Please
cussed
tell
at a
me all your
customer.
business sins.
Would you like a coach or a consultant?
I just cussed a customer out. You've been bad. Okay, so
What's your penance? Go out and sell us something.
give me 3 Hail Marys.
And a hard sell, not a soft sell this time. Come on, go.
All right, so you've consulted with somebody and they decide, yes, I want to move forward. Then you create something called a master plan.
Mm-hmm.
What-
Da-da-da.
What is that?
So that is that overall blueprint, what they need to be doing across the board. So I work with people in stages. Like I said, I will meet people where they're at. So some times we have to build in baby steps, and sometimes people are ready for the whole thing. So when they're ready for the whole thing, we build out the whole master plan. And then the next thing that happens is they go, oh my God, I have all these great ideas, and you've helped me figure out the personality of my business, and this is the package I'm offering now, and I know where I'm networking, and dear God, how do I get all of this done?
Yep.
So what has happened is that people then come to me for the next piece. And so then that is what I call the action plan. And that is, how do we take all of these great ideas and actually put them on the calendar and make them happen? What do my clients need to be talking about throughout the year as it relates to where their gold clients are in the time of year? So let's use summer as an example. If someone's ideal person is a mom who has kids, well, they're out of school for the summer. So what's going on in their world right now? And how do we talk about what you provide or what problem you solve as it relates to what's going on in that client's world, so that when they are engaging with you on social media or in your blog or whatever it may be, that they feel like, wow, that person's really speaking my language.
Spa day.
Spa day.
Well,
Should we go get massages or
that?
pedicures or whatever?
If you're the mom,
I would love to film that, like the two of you doing a podcast, like
spa day.
Spa day would be freaking hilarious.
That does sound like a pretty good PR stunt.
That could be a lot of fun. But
my biggest concern?
Yeah.
That I like it.
You would
That's
love
why
it.
I've never done a pedicure.
And it would be
You
great.
and Katy Perry kind of thing. Right? Is that what-
I don't want to do it because I'm afraid that I'd go and like, oh, this is fantastic.
And what's wrong with that? You would absolutely love it. And your wife would probably appreciate it.
For her.
So what's the third step?
Oh, funny. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got our action plan. And so what I usually offer people is, when I'm really getting a good vibe and we're both clicking with each other, I usually offer the 6-month package. And so the 6-month package includes a master plan and an action plan, so that they've got all that they need to take all these great ideas. And granted, some of the great ideas may be a couple years down the road. They might be
Sure.
pieces that we add in later, and we're just going to build some of the fundamentals. And then we have, the action plan that they can keep working on building all of that out.
So is it fair to say that the master plan is strategic and the action plan is tactical?
Sure.
So you're kind of mapping out
no.
like,
Because
Sure. Wait,
well,
I'm
I
not
was thinking
jumping
about
on.
the difference between strategic
Yeah.
and tactical. That
Yeah.
was the
Pretty much
So
it.
strategic is the plan, how are
Right.
we going to do it, and the tactical is the execution, right?
right?
Yes.
Yes.
So yes,
Okay.
the strategic.
I just want to make sure we're talking
plan
about the same thing.
Yeah, the strategic plan
See?
is the master plan. This is how we are going to conquer
Yes.
this. And the tactical is, these are the pieces that we need to have in play in order to, and when we need to execute those.
Yep.
So absolutely.
Makes perfect sense. And those things are, it's so funny. I've seen this many times. People don't understand the difference. What?
Just wondering why you're looking at the camera. Sorry, I was like, what the heck is going on?
You know why I looked at the camera? No, seriously, you know why I looked at the
Yeah,
camera?
to make sure it's still running.
Yes, because so many times my videos have been ruined in this building. I thought that there was a ghost in here, but it's still recording. I'm shocked. Sorry.
weeks in a row.
There's a
2 weeks
whole
in a row.
story here.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Off the rails we went. But this is it's important though, because your strategy is the high level, like you said, showing up where you need to be. These are the
Right.
like the big things. But then tactical is how do you do it? Because a lot of times it's like, okay, I've got a great idea. How many times have you seen people say, I've got a great idea, and it never comes to fruition? Why? Because they didn't take it that step further and develop out, how are we going to get it done?
Right.
What are all the tactics to take that great idea and make it a reality?
Put it into action.
So
Exactly.
now, do you help those folks after you say, well, okay, we've got this. Here's your plan. Here's how to put it in action. And they go, you know what? I'm not going to be good at doing some of this part of the action plan because I would rather be doing XYZ instead of ABC.
Sure.
Are you there to help them do ABC as
Yes.
well? Okay.
So as part of the package, I'm included.
And I'll bring. Do you bring them baked goods every week too?
I do
Here's
not.
your fresh Danishes.
But I could
made last
occasionally. Yeah,
Oof.
so personal guidance is the other piece of what I offer. And so I sell myself in chunks of time with these packages. And so I call that was for your
Wow.
pleasure.
By the hour, folks. By the hour.
No.
Oh,
Jake
boy.
just jumped the rails and went into the gulch.
Totally my fault, guys.
Yeah, so I have what I call miscellaneous time with me.
It's the first time I've heard it called that. Oh, boy.
Kelly, do you have some miscellaneous?
And that's where we lost them.
Wow. Sorry, folks. It was the third beer. That's what it was.
That was what did it.
That's what it was.
If it had been done on number one, it wouldn't have gone down that way.
God.
Yeah.
Oh. Please forgive me, Lord. I've sinned. I'm in the confessional booth now.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So
Sharon's crying.
so
Poor baby.
Tammy's selling herself by the hours. The fourth part of this.
Oh, so
I think I'm crying a little.
you both are. It was worth it, I think, just for that reaction.
Holy smokes.
It's
Okay.
called miscellaneous time now.
It is
Okay.
miscellaneous time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything that I am good at, I will help them with. So if that's
Marketing, folks. Marketing. Darren, are you okay, buddy?
I don't think there's any
You need a
recovering
minute?
from this. I did not mean for it to go this sideways.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. Okay, so we've got...
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Anyway, so
Well,
I
I gotta-
will help them.
call him the reliever. Come on, out of the bullpen. Somebody's got to bring us back on track.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a terrible interviewer.
So I will help them execute is what I'm saying.
That's better.
Yes.
Because I'm not drawing any jokes from that, so that's good.
Well, that's good because I have some.
We're getting.
Oh, jeez.
Oh Lord.
So a
It's a
flight
comedy
was a
show,
really
folks.
bad idea.
It was yeah, whose idea was it, Tammy?
It was mine.
Exactly.
But like I said before, I thought we would all be splitting one beer. But anyway,
I brought more.
yeah, it's all good.
Yes.
Good fun.
Okay, so
good
we're
fun.
so
yeah,
we're back
so
on track. We're
yes,
here.
I will help them execute the plan. So I am good at quite a number of things. I am good at content. I am good at event planning. And so I will be the support that they need. But I also have a handful of people that I really love referring to for such things as graphic design and websites, like you mentioned at the outset. So I also have a social media strategist that has come on board and really understands the nitty gritty behind ads. And because one of the things I hate is anybody with a Facebook page says that they're an expert in social media, and
No.
it's a lie. So this person I'm really excited to be working with. And
That's a total rabbit hole, by the way.
oh
I mean,
yeah, I don't want to go down it, but anyway,
that's a way to waste a lot of money.
it absolutely is. So yeah, I can help connect them to the people that they need, and I will help support them as I can too.
So let me ask you a question.
Ask me.
So you've got this marketing company. You've been in business for over 2 years now. What's your proudest moment so far?
So my proudest moment is actually the second client who I ever closed. So this is, oh my God, I think I'm going to do this on my own. And someone referred this person to me right out of the gate. and met with them 2 months before they opened their business. We worked on their branding, their logo, their messaging, created their master plan. 2 months later, she comes back and she's like, I need the action plan. And we ended up working together for her very first year in business. She's a solopreneur. And other than hiring me, an accountant, and things like that to handle some of that stuff, she is all on her own. And she is an acupuncturist, actually. So it's, individual sessions. That's the structure of her business.
Yeah, and it's a sticky business.
Mm. Ha ha ha.
Oh, I'm gonna pull one on you. So I want to bring it. Come here.
Yeah.
Please come here.
Okay, so we have somebody live. We're waving her into the room.
Now we're waving her into the room. Only for one reason.
I was not ready for this, but we're
going to do this spot on.
And we haven't mic checked her, but we're going to incorporate her because she's amazing.
Just really quick. And the only reason we're bringing this person in is because this is Tammy's partner.
Yeah.
For the HLN Healthy Lifestyle Network, Sheila.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to cut your story off. So finish your story really quick about this amazing person.
Go into our...
who's an acupuncturist.
Sure. Yeah.
And...
cool.
Wow.
So my proudest moment, though, is that one of my first clients, and she closed her first year in business with over 120 grand.
Wow.
I'll take it.
Just applying what we were going over and showing up in the right places. So from zero to a 6-figure business as a solopreneur, and she didn't have to spend a ton of money on marketing. I helped her through the process and gave insight, but she did the work and she was successful. So that's really what I derive my most joy from, is seeing people be successful and continue that success year after year, because the plans that we build together are truly evergreen.
That's something to be proud of, because
that's awesome.
Building a $120,000 business first year in business while you're just poking people with needles. I'm sorry. That's impressive.
That is.
That takes a great marketing plan.
Now, my question would be, please tell me her expenses were less than $120,000 for the first year.
Oh, yes.
It only cost $250 for that I paid out, but I made $120.
She made money.
No, she made money.
Yeah.
Tammy's saying it with swagger, so she made some money.
And she's a delightful person, too.
She is.
She is.
So we're going to talk about Healthy Lifestyle Network.
And boom, that's the next thing on the list. See,
it is. Oh my gosh, look at that. Darren's reading notes.
I read ahead.
Lord. I'm really glad Sheila was here and she was able to pop in. So that's perfect.
Sheila, welcome to the show.
Hey, Sheila.
Yeah, we've totally incorporated you at the last minute. Thank you.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Yes, even for us.
I'm not used to this because Tammy always takes the lead on the chit chat. So I like to be the admin behind the scenes a lot of the time.
Sheila is my amazing business partner with the group that I was talking about earlier, Healthy Lifestyle Network. So we started this together not that long ago, about 2 months ago. May 14th, I think, was the official launch date here at Launch and Go. And it's been an amazing journey. We talked together because we both saw the gaps in current networking events, and we wanted to help health and wellness professionals. And thus Healthy Lifestyle Network began.
So just to kind of want to make sure that those that are listening can follow along. So you, with your marketing business, you really like dealing with people in the health and wellness segment.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sheila happens to be in that space. You're a masseuse, right?
Wow.
And you specialize
Correction. Massage therapist.
Sorry.
And actually, myofascial release therapist.
Yeah.
So help me. I mean, seriously, what's the difference between, or am I just using a derogatory term that
lay
I didn't
down
realize?
on the table and you'll feel it?
Yeah. Okay. Technically, masseuse and massage therapist are the same occupation. However, the term massage therapist indicates a more clinical feel than masseuse. You think of, I don't know what you think of. I don't like what I see when I think masseuse. I just see like this big brawny guy in a tight white T-shirt or something. I don't know, but
Nope.
Nope. I don't see that at all
Don't
when
see
I
it.
think of masseuse.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway,
I'd rather picture a natty daddy.
Oh. Well, how about a ice house?
There are 3 beers in.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And by the way, I prefer
an
to call
extra?
it, as Austin Power does, massage.
Is there another one in the cooler?
We've drank them all.
We're done.
Yes.
Ow.
That's probably a good
Cutting
thing.
you off.
Yeah, we're
The
cutting
brouhahas.
ourselves off
Okay.
naturally. Okay, so,
Poor Sheila. She's not been on this journey.
oh, Sheila, we went
She
so far
doesn't
off the
understand
rails.
how we got here.
Way off the rails.
Yeah,
But anyway,
we went bad, very, very bad. So Healthy Lifestyle Network. Okay, so you guys had this idea. What exactly is it?
So the easiest, simplest way to describe it is a very niche chamber of commerce. So it is a chamber for health and wellness professionals. Like I said, that is the very easiest way to describe it. So we want people of all sorts of health and wellness. We have people that are farms that are a member of our network. We have practitioners of various things. And we are twofold. So we really want to pour into these people to help their businesses personally. And so there's a lot of business development programming, which is what the Lunch and Learn is next Tuesday that Darren mentioned at the outset, if anybody remembers that. And
I do remember.
if they've been drinking beer like us, they might not.
Yes. If you've been keeping up with us, drink for drink, listen again.
Sober.
Yes, please.
so that is all about how to and whether or not to create an online aspect to people's businesses. That's the Lunch and Learn on Tuesday. Anyway, so we do lunch and learns and kind of a business after hour structure to get to know our members better. And then we also are committed to connecting all of these healthy resources to the community at large. And so we are going to be providing regular community programming so that our members can get to know them and our community can get connected to our members as well.
So you're trying to attract businesses that are health and wellness businesses, everything from, nutrition to doctors to, whatever.
You can't say the word myofascial release.
No. MR. I'll call it MR.
It's MFR.
Yeah. Like that. Well done, sir.
It
and
really
you're also
is.
trying to attract potential clients. So anybody that wants to be healthier, whether that's, losing weight, getting rid of pain, just, living an overall healthier lifestyle, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So we want the community at large to find out what's out there for them to live a healthier lifestyle and then be connected to the person that is a good fit for them. So like, let's say personal training, for example, like, the person that's a good fit for you I may not click with. And so we want a variety of people in that category so that the community can find who they fit with. So we really have a large vision of making that easier and bringing both credible resources together with the community looking
marketplace.
for it.
It's a one-stop
absolutely.
shop.
It's a marketplace.
Yeah.
Just go there and you're like, wait, I need something in health and I'm looking for, I'll go to the Healthy Lifestyle Network. This incredible group and I could.
And you don't have category exclusivity too, right? So if somebody's looking for, supplements, to help them with their diet, it's not like you're going to say, oh, well, there's one person you have to go through to. You might have multiple choices, right? So it's really in every sense of the word a marketplace where somebody doesn't have to feel pressure that, oh, I got to use your person. It's just that connective tissue between need and product, right?
Yes, and good word choice.
I know.
Connective tissue.
Connective
That's what
tissue.
I work on.
You like
Ooh.
that?
That's what myofascial release is for.
Tissue. Yes.
Myofascial.
Your fascia is your connective tissue.
Your massage therapy.
It just occurred to me that our network is a bit like Angie's List, right?
Yeah.
So you go there to look for recommendations for XYZ. HLN is going to be that for the health field.
Mm.
Glad you used the word Angie's. I deviated because I was like, remember, it's like that Amy's List. Oh God, no.
You didn't have to admit that on the show. You could have just kept that to yourself.
Honesty is good. Being humble is a good thing.
You feel like you've just released yourself?
He's 3 beers in. You should know better than this.
And I can't wait for Mr. Winnie to come back and sit in this chair now.
Oh, it's Darren, Jake. Come on. Come on.
So if somebody was wanting to find more out about Healthy Lifestyle Network, where would they go? How could they find it?
Yeah, so our website just went live. It is healthylifestylenetwork.org. And you can reach out to us via email at info@healthylifestylenetwork.org. Or you can call Sheila or myself directly. My number, Tammy, is 770-584-9516.
Are you sure you want to give your number out after all that stuff
really
you said
want to do
earlier?
that?
You guys are the ones who...
Up. I had to get a new number after the show.
As long as you guys don't call me all the time, we're all right.
Yeah.
And then Sheila?
My number is 404-904-4275.
And are you guys on social yet? Do you have like a social?
We do.
We'll link to it.
So we have what's called Healthy Lifestyle Network Community, and it is a group page for both professionals and the community at large. And we want all sorts of topics discussed there, and we want people to ask for recommendations on that page and share recipes, tips, anything like that. And then, of course, we have a Healthy Lifestyle Network business page.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll link to that, and we'll make it easy for people to find us. And then MarketMe. How do we find MarketMe? So
MarketMe is MarketMeStrategies.com. And you can call me at 770-584-9516 or Tammy with a Y at MarketMeStrategies.com. And I'm happy to set up a consultation anytime.
And how much are your consultations?
Free.
It's $3.
Man, this is great. So much stuff for free.
Times in one day.
Free times in gee, Merry Christmas, man. I think it's about time to finish this up. So
most definitely.
Well, and you have, okay, so again, contact you where for Tammy?
You can contact me for a consultation at Tammy@MarketMeStrategies.com.
And we will link to that on our social. So, go to the Beer and Business page. We'll have links on it. You're not that hard to find. You can also Google your name, which will be in the name of the podcast too.
Okay.
Tammy Lanier. She's the paralegal turned marketing turned baker turned construction turned
something psychologist.
Psychologist. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Yeah.
Yep.
But we appreciate you coming on. This has been really fascinating. This is a great.
Sheila's looking at us like, what the going on here? What happened?
We had a really good conversation that went way off the
She's
rails.
Like, I know her. It's okay.
Sheila, just subscribe to Beer and Business at.
Beer and Business.
Oh yeah, he's got it.
just use your favorite podcast app. Search for Beer and Business. Yeah, it's
and then you can hear the whole episode and see what.
Yes, you can. Well, we really appreciate your time. This has been fascinating. I hope our listeners have learned something, and I also hope they've been entertained because we drank a lot of beer today, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks.
And Sheila, thanks for coming in. She's like you know what Sheila's like right now? She's like the designated driver.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you all home.
That's perfect. So,
she's really concerned because we have a launch tonight and I need to do a presentation.
She's like the Uber driver right now. Like, holy smokes, what have you guys been doing?
Or Lyft. Could be Lyft.
Oh, could be Lyft. Yeah, we don't have any brand affiliation there, but we're open to whoring ourselves out to it if you'd like to pay us.
Either way. That'd be great. Please do. And do us a favor. If you've drank what we've drank, don't drive.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
Ever. It's not good.
Never.
Yeah. Don't podcast and drive either. That's kind of stupid.
And girls, don't suggest that the boys do a flight because they can't keep up with you.
Really?
Well,
I think I'm doing just fine.
Turn this off and let's bring out the bourbon. Okay.
Sold. Folks,
thanks
for tuning in.
Thank
we will
you
see
so
you
much.
next week.